when you truly tap into who you are and how you can serve, and you have that servant mindset, I don't mean you're a doormat, but you have that servant mindset, you truly can get out of your own way, where when you're in that moment, you were truly impacting somebody else's life.
Everyone, Vicky Schettini here, and I am so excited to bring you Sue Henry today. She is amazing. Thank you so much for coming to the show. I'm really excited that you're here.
Well, thank you so much, Vicki. And it was really fun because this is the first time we met, and when I hopped on and we started talking, within seconds, it was like we were long lost sisters. We just hadn't met yet. And how awesome is that?
Isn't that amazing? So tell us, what is it that you do? Because I'm really, really excited for everybody to hear.
What I do is I teach women how to speak as a way to grow their influence, grow their network, and grow their bank account without pitch slapping the audience. And it doesn't matter whether you're doing it on a stage or a platform in front of a large group, whether you're doing it as a podcast, whether you're having your own event, or you're a guest interviewee, or any of those things. The process is still the same. And that's where the magic happens.
So tell us more, if someone would be interested in becoming a speaker. And one of the things I think as women, we all have something that we are good at. What would be the first thing that you would be telling them?
I think be true to yourself and don't underestimate your own story. There may be other people who do what you do, but it's your story and how you processed everything and brought it together that's going to resonate with those people who aren't hearing what the other people say. They'll only hear and resonate with your message. So it's really easy to let our own insecurities and our own, oh my gosh, I'm not a size 2. I don't have well-toned arms. I can't stand there in this sleeveless dress like you see on TEDx or a lot of these other. I'm not a size 2. I can't wear stilettos. I mean, all of these things, and we get so busy into our own head. And I think that when we really truly tap into our own story, and the power, our story is what allows us to grab that cape and become a superhero. I mean, I got to be honest with you. So when I was in high school, I'm old, and I was in high school, and there was a speaker who came in, and he was so good. And I knew in that moment I wanted to be a speaker. I mean, I didn't know how, I didn't know where, I had no idea of a message. I was in high school, I didn't know squat, but I knew I wanted to be able to have that kind of influence over people because I saw the impact he was having. And so I tried out for the school play. And then when I was a senior high school, after, that summer, I was one of 6 people chosen to go to the Biltmore Hotel in California and share some findings on a big stage that I was part of this group that came up with these findings. And what speaking does is it allows us to bring some of those stories together, have a laugh with other people, and then show that, wait a minute, I overcame some of these same insecurities, these same issues, but look what happened that when I did it in spite of my fears, not because I removed my fears. I think that the key isn't that we don't have things holding us back. I think the key is that we're doing it in spite of having those things hold us back and our own insecurities. And when you truly tap into who you are and how you can serve, and you have that servant mindset, I don't mean you're a doormat, but you have that servant mindset, you truly can get out of your own way, where when you're in that moment, you were truly impacting somebody else's life. And I think that's what we are all called to do in our own personal way.
Yeah, I agree. May have an idea. What if they know they want to help people, but they need some direction? Well, how can you help them?
I think that I have a free 30-minute strategy call. About minute 25 into the 30-minute call, I'll share 3 to 4 ideas based on where they are at. Because I can't go in there and just say, oh, you should do this if I don't have a conversation with them. So at minute 29, my big sales question is, do you want my help with any of this? That's it. And then they can either say, yes, I'd like to know more, or no, I'm good. And I'm okay either way. Because if I can share a little bit of information that without being overwhelming, where I can steer them in the right direction as they're along their journey, that makes my heart happy. And I think that's a good thing. So I think, some people, if you're afraid to start speaking, but you want to get your message out there, maybe you're one of those who, instead of doing all the direct messaging and putting your message one person at a time and sounding all spammy, maybe podcasts would be the place to start. Maybe if you've got friends who are in business, having them interview you. So you're doing this little private thing, maybe that would be a way to get started. And chances are you're not going to, if you're getting started, you're not going to be asked to speak on a stage with 6,000 people anyway. I mean, that's not where it's at. So I think more important than where you speak is your message and the audience. When you choose your audience with care, because not all audiences are created equal, that's going to set you up for success. Because in spite of your in spite of maybe you're not as eloquent as maybe somebody else is, despite of maybe stumbling over your story a little bit, their hearts are still going to be touched. And that's, I believe, what we want.
I agree with you too. And you're right. You are not going to connect with everybody.
Right.
There's somebody that I connect that you don't connect, and vice versa. There's someone that you connect because we're all different. And once you do fine tune who your target audience is that you will be able to help, that's huge. And I think that's great that you do that. I mean, 30 minutes is a lot. So yeah. I think that's amazing that you do that.
Well, thank you. It's been a fun journey. When you speak, I don't care whether it's a podcast or whether you're speaking, if you're speaking for 30 minutes or less, you want to only cover 3 points. But in those 3 points, you want to go deeper into stories and share those stories, because that's what, emotion is what drives us. Emotion is what compels us to take action. Facts do not. They support the action we took, but they won't move us to take action, okay? So we want to talk about 3 things. Bring in good, compelling stories that your audience will relate to. And I think that in a story, think of a spoon. So when you want the story, you want to be digging into the rib cage, talking about that pain of your prospects. And then when you talk about the solution, you remove the spoon, but it's still pretty dang sensitive to the touch. And so sticking to 3 things, and then having a lead magnet that is cohesive and cohesive is the best word, I guess, that is cohesive with what you talked about, so that your lead magnet should have 10 to 15 points on it. But these are what's, not how. So it shouldn't be any longer than 2 pages. Now all of a sudden you've taken 3 of those. That's what you're talking in depth about. Now you've still got all these other ones that in your email sequence, when people opt in to get this free report, they've already seen the value, they've felt the value, and now they're going to opt in. So now you've got all of these additional points. You already know the person's interested. Now you've got something for all your emails. Each email could be 1 point where you go deeper into it. Each one could be a blog post. Each one could be a YouTube video. Each one could be a Facebook Live, Instagram story, all of those other kinds of things. But the key is, when you're speaking then, is how do you get people to opt in? Yeah.
That's it. I love it. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming. It was a pleasure speaking with you, and we're going to keep talking.
I am so excited, and thank you so much, Vicky. I look forward to getting to know you a lot better, and because I think, like I said, I think we're like, sisters from a different mister or something. It's pretty cool.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.